Hello guys. In today's video I thought I would talk to you about the top 5 things that I dislike about the MT07. Now in front of me I have the 2016 model and I've had it for roughly 1 year now. So the first thing about the bike that I don't like is the position of the ignition. Now I don't understand why they put the ignition down here, because when you have a windscreen and a phone mount, like I have the RAM mount, and that comes up and pretty much covers this entire area, it's really tough to come down to the ignition and turn the bike on and off and lock it and everything. So I don't know why they didn't put the display up top and the ignition down. That would have just solved this entire problem. So that's the first thing that I dislike about this bike. Now the second thing that I don't like about this bike is mainly an issue for the newer models, the 2020 up to the 2023 models, because on the 2016 model, and I believe that you can do this on the 2017 and 2018 models as well, and that is restricting and de-restricting it. So in EU we have a few different types of motorcycle licenses, and I have the A2 license, which means that I have to have the restricted version, the one that only puts out 35 kilowatts. And so what you can do on this older generation is just put this metal L-shaped thingy here, which restricts the amount of gas, the amount of throttle that you can give it. So with this on, you can only pull it down here, while when it's off, you can pretty much double the amount that you can give it. So this basically just restricts here. Otherwise, you can pull it all the way over here. And that is how they restricted these older generations. On the newer generations, you can't do this. I spoke to a Yamaha technician and he said that it's impossible. When you buy it from factory, that's how it'll be forever. And I mean, I guess I understand why they do that. They want to have more bikes out from the showroom floors. But it's one thing to take into consideration when you're buying this bike. If you're buying it with the restriction on, you won't be able to take it off, and vice versa. And now the third issue I have with this bike isn't really so much an issue with the MT07 specifically. It's more so an issue with naked bikes in general, and that is the wind protection. There isn't any. Unless you have a windscreen, this windscreen that I have, it's basically only for aesthetics. It doesn't protect me from the wind at all. Now there are bigger windscreens that you can buy that pretty much cover all the way up here, which sure, they would cover you pretty well, but that, in my opinion, just takes away from the sporty look of these bikes, so I really don't want that. So if you're thinking about buying an MT07 or any naked bike in general, just know that the wind when you're going at highway speeds can get really annoying. And now for the final 2 things that I dislike about the MT07, I'm gonna have to get on the bike and start driving. So the fourth thing that I dislike about this bike is the throttle on and off. When you go from giving it just a little bit gas to absolutely nothing, it's really harsh. The engine braking just starts immediately. And the same thing when you go from not giving it any gas to just a little bit gas. Now I'm not giving it any, and there I start. It's really jerky. It goes from like 0% to 20% immediately, instead of having that smooth power delivery that a lot of other bikes have. So that's one thing and that's an issue for any model of the MT07. I found that when I rode the 2020 and 23 models, they had the same issue. They just have that jerky gas and that's something that I don't like about this bike. Now the fifth thing that I don't like about this bike is more so an issue for the 2016, 2015 models. I think the 2017 and 2018 models have this issue as well, and that is the seat. This seat is so goddamn uncomfortable. If you're riding for more than 30 minutes, your ass is gonna hurt. And the same thing with the gas tank, like the leg position on the gas tank. It's really weird. Like when I'm riding this, I can't have my legs glued to the tank. It just doesn't feel natural. I have to have them a bit apart. And I don't know why they formed the gas tank like this, but I know from riding the 2020 and 2023 versions, this isn't an issue on them. But so those are the 5 things that I dislike about the MT07. Now they're really minor issues, and I really had to think a lot about making this list because there's just so much I love about this bike. It is my first bike, but I have ridden other bikes, I have tested other bikes, and there's just so much to love about this bike. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.